We're finishing our trip, and the mushrooms are still here. This week on The Hapless Heroes.
That's not gonna fit in a pocket or a butt.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and I will be your host and DM as we park the shuttle in the hangar, so to speak, as we conclude this story arc and kind of just see how all the pieces fall into place. But before we do that, and do what we always do and introduce the cast we have with us this evening. That is, to my virtual left, Dave playing March.
Hey, how's it? A little distracted. Sorry. How's it going, everybody?
Lewis as Lev Zangief.
Jeff. That's what it is.
Sets it up at the end and then hits it at the start of the next. What a madman. Michael is Brunner Brew Blitzbor.
First star to the right and straight on till morning.
Sebastian is Chum Daloom.
No. I'm allergic to the astral sea. That's why my eyes keep welling up whenever I walk over there.
Nicole is Glorp Glup Glup.
I think before decorations, I need to get some air filters for this ship.
And John is Jam Jam.
Jam is bored in space.
Yeah, but nothing boring about the fact that we
3-week trip back.
Yeah, it's true. There's probably and now with the intercom system also out of operation because of Marsh's tinkering, you can't have fun that way either. But I mean, there are ways to entertain ourselves aboard this shuttle, few as they may be. They do exist. But as a quick recap for those of you, I mean, if this is the first episode you're listening to in this long arc, I died. Why? But essentially, we are about to arrive back at the flotilla as our party has completed it was a task failed successfully, I guess we can call this, because you were ushered to this facility and did recover information potentially related to Project Q. You're not necessarily entirely sure. However, the person or thing that brought you to this facility was not the pilot that was commissioned by the flotilla to take you on this mission and escort you, but rather some android that is owned by a mysterious person named the Seeker, who essentially tried to trap you or ambush you or do something. I don't know. They were looking for something, and it seemed like you were duped in some way. You do have the remains of the android that was formerly your pilot, now fused back into the pilot. It fused to a pilot's chair. The pilot's chair has been fused back into the ship where it was formerly ripped off. Chum has been piloting us home. You guys called Percival and had a nice short conversation with him to let him know all the things that happened while you were away. He expressed his concerns, said he was going to look into some of the, maybe some of your suspicions about being set up in some way or whatnot. So he said he'd do a little digging around while you made your way home. We're going to advance time a little further. So we're probably about a days away from home. You all have been occupying yourselves one way or another. March is going a little crazy as he continues to rant and rave about seeing words amongst the random characters and text that are on his screen. Every now and again, you see him plug back into his broken power glove and, continue to just, it genuine, like you were, I'm not sure if anyone was concerned about him before, but
I think maybe, I'm just going to keep pretending it's not happening, but convince myself that's how he normally is.
You see him do lots of things. He does lots of hacking. He does lots of pacing around and a lot of talking to himself and a lot of scrolls of calm emotions and a lot of coffee and cigarettes and a lot of scrawling on walls. You don't really see him doing you don't really see him doing a lot of sleep. I mean, it's the astral sea, but like everybody's resting except for him. It's not really going well. And he's kind of deteriorating a little bit as it goes on. But
if you replace the scrawling with bad websites, then it's just normal. It's just normal day to day.
Well, and
that's me.
And actually, I should note, now that you are much closer to an actual active wild space system, anyone in front of any sort of panels on the ship will notice that the ship is now picking up like a data signal from a nearby solar system. You can see that it is connected currently to a flotilla network, or the flotilla wide area network, the FWAN, as it were.
I think we had Jam on communications, if I remember correct. That was the place where he sat.
Yeah, more or less. And then Brew's on the nav consoles. Lev is cleaning up after all of you and tidying up the ship and doing his crosswords and sort of being the dad or the mom of the group even. I don't know.
Call him A, call him B.
Brew has been more or less meditating on and off a lot for the duration of this trip, really trying to focus. But you could see that, I don't know, Brew, you're starting to you're a pretty even keeled Minotaur. Definitely don't fit the stereotype of the typical aggressive bull, right?
No.
But the last few weeks, as you've been trying to meditate and just get right with yourself, have been a little frustrating because there is no quiet corner of the ship. And maybe your frustration is starting to show on your face a little bit. Maybe your eyebrows twitch a little bit as maybe something like another piece of metal like bangs in the background, or as Lev shuffles by with his large beetle body, bumps into you accidentally as he's, sweeping up or sweeping around you as you will refuse to get up from this spot, specifically on the floor of the bottom of the deck of the ship, and you're just you just can't seem to find anywhere to just spend a good long time meditating. You don't have your cold showers, right? You don't have the comforts that you had at home to help you sort of center yourself and focus. So, maybe the frustration's starting to show a little bit. The cracks are starting to form in your even-keeled exterior, potentially. You're feeling almost like you're having a harder time controlling your own frustrations and your anger. Like you've always been very good at just kind of water off an Aarakocra's back, right? Kind of thing. And now it's you're just it's starting to get under your skin. It's an unfamiliar feeling to you. You never really remember feeling this kind of anger before.
I feel like I'm working harder to
keep yourself
bottle
calm.
That in. Yeah.
Yes.
The bottle's starting to burst a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off as easily. You're holding on to these frustrations. You're just kind of getting the annoyance is compounding as the noises of the ship continue to, disrupt you from just your mindful meditation that you've been trying to practice and learn. Because you seem very committed to this, this order and this, trying to connect with the stars and the cosmos and to be the best you can be, because when you're not meditating, you're working, you're on the nav consoles, you're making sure everything's still looking fine, that you haven't veered off course, or that things haven't changed. And so it's just you just want some downtime, but it feels like in this small ship, for as long as you've been away, there doesn't seem to be a time where there's nothing happening. And it's frustrating.
I like the eye twitch thing that you said. So I feel like his eyebrow will just kind of have a little bit of an unconscious twitch whenever weird things are happening that are bothering him. So for now, that's his thing.
That's his little tick, but it's still not. Yeah, you're not outbursting.
No, not yet.
But you're the little four-way vein thing is starting to show. The little anime anger symbol, right? Just starting to take shape on the forehead. Okay.
I will also convince myself this is normal.
But it's almost also he's shaking it off too. He's actively noticing it and trying not to it's almost like he is fighting it. He's not. Yes. He's not. It's not part of his actual personality.
You're not giving in to the anger.
He feels
right.
weird about it. Yeah.
It's throwing you off a little. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the ship is now approaching the edges of the Bevan Expanse wild space system. You can see it actually come into view like way off in the distance as you're cruising through the astral sea. It just looks like this like dark like orb, like bubble, like in this vast like purple and blue like sort of like cosmic sea that just surrounds you. Just like almost like a rift in this otherwise like colorful and vast emptiness.
Nice.
There's like, from the cockpit, Chum, you hear this like this, not an alarm. It's just sort of like more like an alert, like, and like just some text comes up on some of your controlled screens, just, saying, approaching Bevan Expanse, prepare for wild space entry and manual piloting. It says autopilot will disengage upon entry to wild space system.
Oh yeah. It literally because of March's tinkering, you would hear first a tiny little lung fill up like, guys, we're about to exit Astral Sea through the entire ship.
So he's shouting. There's at least 3 of you sitting like at or near the consoles right behind him. So he's just like, top of his lungs shouting.
He's gotten
but
used
at least
to this.
Maybe for Brew and Lev, we'll say, who are downstairs, maybe even Glorp to potentially down the ladder, in the more common like chilling area. You do hear the bellow of a tiny monkey.
I will say that I am probably very accustomed to him yelling throughout the ship. And I just kind of rolled, honestly, to see if I believe it to be important. And I don't.
I don't, he says.
I definitely am like, I like look up like for a very brief moment, like over the top of my glasses towards like the hatch or whatever that I imagine goes up
like
to
reading,
it.
You got like reading glasses on, you got your crossword book in hand. Yeah.
I'm just like,
oh God.
Do you like turn to like, what's this for that? You still asking questions about that?
No, but there are a lot of pens that have that are like littered around the area that I sweep up every once in a while, but I'll chew the hell out of like the back of the pen until it's like all flattened, and then I just kind of drop them on the ground. And
I see. Love that.
Okay, so you're just for logistics, you're not buckling in or anything. You're just
Nope.
Yep. Okay, cool. Cool.
We're still like we're a little bit away from the flotilla and whatnot, right? So Jam is going to put down the comic book he was reading. He's been kind of a little bit perturbed lately that we left the power on at that research station.
Yeah, the power is still on.
That's been bothering him more and more as we get further and further away. But he'll remember that he was supposed to call Percy back before we landed.
Yeah, now would be a good time.
Yep.
So
he'll just hit the little beeper button.
Yep, you hit the button. Again, there's a brief delay, very brief, but this time it's just like,
oh, hello.
Percy, Jam.
Oh, Jam, good. Hi, yes, good to hear from you.
Hi, Percy.
Hello, Glor. I'm assuming you are close to home.
Appears so.
Okay, so did some digging. I don't know what you know about the guy, but very hard to find any information about Proxy aside from the fact that he works as an information specialist for the flotilla. Even Father Hayes said he's a rather cagey fellow, but means well, from what I understand. So that's really all I was able to figure. I searched everything I possibly could. I even, I went through different colleagues. I even used some of the guild's resources to access some of the private net things, but yeah, nothing. Squeaky clean. So.
Any look regarding who kidnapped us?
Well, you never really quite said who kidnapped you, besides you called him Jeff, and so
yes,
I
Jam
mean,
Jam believes it was Jeff Mulligan or maybe Justin Mulligan.
Yeah, I didn't search for a Justin Mulligan, but I did search for Jeff Mulligan, Mulligan Jeff, Mulligan Pilot, Jeff Pilot. You know, it's all over the place.
What about Robot Mulligan Jeff?
Hold
That's
on.
a very good point. That's a good point.
You hear
It's
some
onto
you hear some typing, you know.
I mean, I'm getting a lot of weird images, and I don't know. It's not nothing. It's asking, did I mean Mulligan Jeff, the famous astro golfer? No.
While you're searching, what about how you become a werebot?
Werebot.
Robot Mulligan Jeff. Wasn't that like an anime that only ran for like one season or something?
I don't know. I don't live out in space.
Oh. Should try it sometime. It's kind of
I mean, I do now, like we do now, but like we didn't before, and I don't know any of these things. So
I don't know what you've been doing for the last 3 weeks.
worrying about you and working, saving money
that's
because
a
I
thing.
thought that you all were dead, and I had to figure out my own way back to our home system. So I
Well, you had to
I
be
was
watching
thrilled.
something in the evening. You can't just have been pacing around the room in front of a radio. You weren't just pacing around in the room in front of a radio, were you? Tell me you were not just pacing around in a room in front of a radio. Percy.
one goal that he was.
It's silent for a minute.
Yeah.
No.
Jam Jam's gonna pull the talkie face closer to his face.
The talking facey goes in his face. That's a sentence right there. I love that. Okay.
I'm not tired. Don't worry. And he's gonna say, hopefully we'll be able to come back straight to you.
Yes, in the hangar.
About that. So Proxy will probably be waiting for you when you arrive.
Oh, good. I got a couple of words for that asshole.
He did pay me a visit as well, yesterday. And
Did he bite you?
Bite me? No, we had a cup of coffee and we just talked for a moment. He wasn't here for very long, but he just asked if I had, had any further communication with you. But no, I just explained that I did hear that you were alive and coming back, and gave him a brief rundown based on what I remembered from my conversation with Glorp and you, Jam Jam. But I told him you would probably be able to better explain the details than I can, because I had a hard time following. But
Jam Jam's face drops
they will
as he
be
realizes.
expecting you.
Yeah, Jam Jam's face drops. He goes, "Oh crap!" As he realizes
what do you mean by that? Wait, what do you mean by that?
What's his name? Proxy knows that we had the communication devices that were not supposed to be known to Proxy specifically. That we had.
You didn't really tell Percival. You didn't really tell Percival that this was an illegal device that he was using.
Oh, we did.
You did not.
No, I don't think we did.
You did not tell him it was an illegal device. You said, keep this with you. We're going to use it to
And
communicate
don't tell
with you.
anybody about it. I could have sworn.
Well, he can't reveal what he doesn't know.
I mean, hey.
Also, he's anyway.
Yeah.
I spent 6 weeks in March's helmet. I don't remember shit.
Jam Jam will say, "We'll be back in about," and he'll look at Brew and
ETA.
Choom and Brew and Choom.
Brew, the ETA says 8 hours to system entry.
Got about a half a daylight.
It's always light out here. So
Half a day? No, like half a day. 8 hours.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Now I'll know that
That's
for
how
next
long
time.
a day is.
It's 16 hours, right? So half a day would be 8 hours. 8 hours. Just
Okay.
get off my back.
So say pre-overtime. If there's pre-overtime and there's overtime, that's how I measure my days.
I can't help my colloquial.
That's funny. That's good.
Okay. Well, I'll see you when you get back. I'm gonna try to. I'll try to make my own way down there and just help maybe be a buffer if you need me to. I'll see if they'll let me into the docks.
You don't ask permission. You just do it, Percy.
What?
You don't
What'd you
ask
say?
permission, you just do it.
You have to. I'm not gonna. What did I just say about space prison? The last time we talked. I don't know what it even looks like, and I don't want to know. I don't want to find out.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll see you when you get back. Stay safe, please.
That guy. Yep.
Jam Jam is going to go and look through his belongings. Would a burglar's pack have a space in it to hide something beeper sized?
It's an important question,
Okay,
I imagine.
so that's
My God, just have some self-respect
fucking-
and smuggle it in your ass like the rest of us.
hilarious. Okay, so yes,
Yeah.
in that it's a bag, it's a backpack, right? It's a pack. There are probably a great many variety of different
I'm just curious
large and
if
small
there
pockets.
might be some hidden extra ones that might not be obvious, like you would on like a stoner's hoodie or something.
So, yeah, I would say you'd have to.
Just because of the nature of it.
I mean, yes, but it's more just it's a bag full of the tools you would use to employ in those scenarios. You may have to get a little creative with maybe like trying to hide a pocket or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you do have some materials in there that you might be able to literally sew a hidden pocket into this thing.
Yeah, I would like to try that at least.
Sure. How about we'll call that a sleight of hand check.
Oh man. 8.
All right, it's not your best work, but you tried to at least
But it's
hide
covered.
it by
It's
just like
covered.
putting. Yeah, you're just putting other things like to kind of like obscure that there's another hidden like little piece here. Like you've tried to just, you know what I mean? You've just arranged stuff in there to kind of hide your shoddy handiwork.
Not great.
Yeah, not great, but it's you did kind of you at least found a way to hide it at least from like a initial inspection. Any other preparatory actions before we enter wild space?
Glorp
no.
uses their tablet to take a picture of the certificate of ownership on the wall to make sure that we have a mobile copy with us. And then
Sure.
prepares to take notes on entering wild space in order to better be able to teach about it in the future.
Jam Jam will again turn to Choom and say, "Would you like to keep your chair?
Yeah. No, this is fine.
They're likely to take it if you don't hide it."
That's a good point. But I already.
It's not gonna fit in a pocket or a butt.
Right. Are you suggesting that we throw? Are you suggesting we throw it out before we get to wild space? Has anyone ever opened a door?
I
I like how this was going to be.
yet.
I like how you said. I like how this was initially going to be the proof that you were going to present, and now you're trying to find a way to get rid of it.
or I mean,
No,
it's
to
because
hide it. It's our cool chair for our ship. It's part of the ship. It's welded to it. It's our property. It says so on the sign.
They are a lawyer, as well as a hacker extraordinaire.
because I mean, we could keep it. So Jam Jam will say, we could hide it
Well,
or give it away.
I should say, because March does know a little bit about salvage law. You could, especially because you have not had a claim in the last X number of months, because there is a limit to the amount of salvage you can claim in a certain period of time. legally speaking.
Fucking
However,
government.
you would be able to, given the circumstances in which this was acquired and given, everything surrounding it, there could be a case made that this shuttle could be claimed as legal salvage.
Mm-hmm.
You would have salvage rights over this vessel.
But Jam Jam's concern is that the flotilla will want to know who kidnapped us, tried to get information out of us, maybe even stole some of that information from us without us knowing, and is currently potentially even occupying still the powered up site that we left behind.
These are all fantastic points, not Jam Jam.
Do we want to keep Jeff for later or give him up now?
I think if we do this right, we could probably parlay into getting it back. They just got to get like the information out of it. Like, do they really need the body that badly?
It is now a chair.
Or holds up plasma welder, sparks it. I could make him a more permanent fixture.
More permanent.
Yeah, he might not even look like a robot when I'm done with him.
This is still leverage for us.
Yeah.
Do we use it now or later?
How would we use it now? You mean when we park?
Jam Jam rubs his little bird fingers together in the money symbol.
That's the thing. It's a bargaining chip, really. Like, we can't just give it up. They gotta earn it from us, but there's gotta be some kind of price.
At minimum, they'd have to trade us for a new chair.
And that's a very good point. One of the nice ones.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. I mean, I like having the indignity of Chair Jeff, but, we could get you a really nice chair with, like, the lumbar support and shit.
I've gotten kind of used to this cold, steely Roy.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of you, isn't it? You wouldn't know what the fuck to do with a soft leather chair if it, like, actually fell on you.
It's hot in all the wrong places.
Oh, no.
Well, that's easy then. We'll tell them that we'll trade it for a replica, Jeff.
A replica? Needs to be an exact replica. And I mean exact.
I don't know. I'm just amping up for something to, like, fucking beat Proxy Keen over the fucking head with, because,
Well, can we lock the shuttle?
Lock it?
I mean, is it really ours if we can't?
That's true. I mean, I am proficient, so I have... If there's a manual or anything, I've read it.
We did break the door.
Yeah, I mean, no. It's been repaired.
It's mended.
It's mended. And I mean, like, you would have to, as the pilot of the ship, like, open the thing.
Right.
Although you never really saw exactly if you can open it from the outside. You never really did check.
Right.
I assume you could, seeing as how if no one was in it, you'd want to close it and lock it up. But
can I do an investigation?
Really see how that worked.
To see if there's, like, keys or something I can physically take.
Where would you investigate?
I would investigate the entire pilot, and again, I've combed through it before.
Sure.
But now I'm looking for the
investigation
specific of like a control center where you would see like some kind of card, key, anything that you'd put in.
Give me a perception or a investigation check.
And because it's an investigation on a ship or ship part.
No. Is that part of your background?
It's part of my background.
Are you
advantage?
I mean, it's a stretch, but sure.
Love stretches. Hey. That's so good. Oh my god. I rolled a nat 1 and then a 9. But
that's why he was advocating for it.
No, I didn't roll the nat 1 first.
Oh, I see.
I just am very lucky. +4 investigation. So that's 13.
Okay. You've combed most of the actual like cabin of this, and there's not like a set of keys that are in the ignition. There's not like an ignition, but in Jeff's pocket, one of his pockets, you do find what just looks like a little fob. It has a picture of like a shuttle on a couple buttons. One that shows like the hatch in the back, the cargo bay, like an up-down symbol. And then there is what appears to be like what looks like a lock, and then what looks like an unlock.
Love that.
And a big red button on the back that makes a horrible
It says
noise.
panic. It's just a big red button. It says nothing on it.
Right.
So I'm gonna pocket that, and I'm not gonna say anything.
Sure. You have the keys.
This window was poking me in the ass this whole time.
Ooh.
So what's next? What are we doing? Landing?
How long has this trip been? And it's been doing it the whole time?
The whole time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was a 3-week journey.
Yeah.
So we're going to say that we are now, we're approaching this wild space system, and we're going to say that you've now entered the Bevan Expanse.
And Lev didn't buckle it. Who did it? Who buckled it? Isn't it jarring?
I didn't
experience
buckle
once
in.
before, right?
Not so much. The autopilot, as you enter, disengages and cruising speed briefly stops. And so the ship comes to more of you're now traveling at like a very slow, comparatively speaking, speed.
Nice.
I need everyone on this ship to make Constitution saving throws.
Dear God.
Are you kidding me? I have the best
the one in
constitution on this stupid thing. This is the second Constitution saving throw, and I nat 1. I don't understand.
My Constitution
So
is
frustrating.
0, so
I have a
You
plus 3.
hate
Uh-huh.
this. Woo! That's a dirty. Oh, plus 0. That's a dirty 16.
18 also plus 0.
I'm truly mad about this.
18 plus 0.
Now we're just rubbing it in.
I got a 17.
17,
Ooh.
Glorp?
15.
Oh, jeez.
Even Glorp did better than me.
My constitution's good, and I have the
Oh,
dot
okay.
in the saving throw
throws. You
thing.
got proficiency. Yeah.
That's the word.
So,
Oh, I did too. Whoops.
as we enter wild space once more, Brew, a familiar feeling passes over you.
Oh, Jesus.
The Traveler's the only one who gets asked.
Literally, like, this is what I've been, like, waiting to do for my entire life.
Michael, what have I been saying this whole adventure, though? I believe in failing forward.
This is the best
So,
storytelling part here.
So, you feel ill again, but not your stomach. You've evacuated the contents of that long ago. However, you do feel like there's almost like a pit. Not in your stomach, but like near like your diaphragm. Like there's just like this pain, this like strange feeling. And you go to like, like you still feel a little nauseous, and you go to like dry heave for a moment, and just for the briefest of seconds, everybody please make perception checks.
Oh, fuck.
Including me?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Ooh. Plus 2. That's a dirty 14.
12.
12.
4.
Nat 1.
Oh, fuck.
Another.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, March is
Yes.
busy
How
seething
did
in
I
the
get
corner.
the
He's
highest
got
ones?
nothing to do with this.
So
Like he's
the-
actively like right
the
now.
10 and above briefly see out of Brew's mouth this like it just looks almost like this like a fuzzy ball of white glowing something
Oh, no.
like poke out and then back in.
I'm going to pretend like that's normal. And just like, oh, you all right
Jam,
there,
jam.
bro?
Yep.
No.
Gross.
Brew, sorry, was your perception above a 10?
Gorilla.
It was a 12. Do I perceive
noticed
my
that
own
too.
thing coming out of my mouth?
Oh yeah, that was weird. What the hell was that? And why did it go back in?
Yeah.
Would you like Jam Jam to look at that?
Bruce got his hoof hand.
I think you would have opposable thumbs and fingers on your.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just your feet that are cloven.
So he's got his very large.
Oh yeah.
Palm, just kind of almost like he's trying to keep it in. So he's kind of I'm trying to describe it correctly. He's kind of talking with his eyes. He's not opening his mouth. He's not saying anything. He refuses to open his mouth in the moment. But his eyes are bulging.
This is normal.
Like a help me through his eyes.
Okay, so if Jam Jam takes that as a help me, he would
does he take it as
a medicine
check? Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, good.
That sounds promising.
A 19.
Hey.
With the proper equipment, you might be able to okay, this man might need a doctor. That's the best way to put it. Who can maybe take a look inside with a camera or something to see what's happening there, unless you wanted to try to reach your hand somewhere down there, which doesn't seem like the best option for either one of you.
He's just looking, but I think he would know
it
enough.
Really
that it
feels
might,
like there's some sort of foreign. If it appears
it might
like
be
a foreign
contagious.
Substance.
Yeah.
No. Well, here's the thing. There was no other residue that was left out. It did not splash or do anything. And I did remember saying, it looked almost as if it could have been fuzzy, which feels wrong.
Sure. But Jam Jam sticking his face up to Bruce's face, knowing.
You open it. You open his mouth. You pull his hands to the side. You open his mouth and peering in there. Yep, looks like something weird is happening here. Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing that I would say that you would be able to do about it, given the current equipment you have available to you on this ship.
Yeah.
And you would still not feel necessarily comfortable doing any potentially mildly invasive
medical
procedures. Would it feel like an
Yeah.
emergency?
It's not reading emergency to you because he's not he's falling over in pain or it doesn't look like he's dying.
Right. But would seeing this scene spark if you were driving and someone in your back seat almost vomits a fuzzy white thing that back into their throat, would you then drive faster to get to where you were trying to go?
Well, there is the cruising speed option, which you would need to manually re-engage again.
Oh, yeah.
I should say, as you enter this system, that was anecdotal. I mean, I'm not going to say anecdotal, but that's what's happening behind you. As you enter the Bevan Expanse, the faintly glowing dwarf star is just, you can see it at the center of the solar system emitting this very deep red light. You can see that there's kind of around the star, there's this sort of almost electromagnetic storm energy that's kind of surrounding a large area in orbit around the star. It can be visible even from the edge of this system. The flotilla, it looks like based on your scans, the actual ships are located around a frozen world, which is Bevan 3. So it's towards the center of the solar system. And so the ship, you'd have to just plug that into the navigation and then you can just start heading in that direction. But you can see where the Mother of Exiles and the fleet currently are on your radar.
Nice.
I'm assuming you head straight to that direction, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It isn't long before there's a beeping on the comms. It's not coming through the intercom, obviously. It's coming through the ship-to-ship
station
communication channel, the hailing channel. There appears to be an incoming hail from an unknown vessel.
So if Jam Jam was sitting where he was sitting, then that would be your console.
That would be your. I mean, yeah, he's kind of staring in awe a little bit at Brew.
What just happened? We all are, I think.
But as the ship kind of goes to, like I said, as you're cruising in that direction, there is that.
Yep.
That active communication or the active hail that's coming in.
Jam Jam will open the communication.
Yeah, so it's a big screen that's in front of you, and you accept the hail, and Proxy's face appears on the screen.
Ugh.
And his voice kind of comes through the speakers that are in the cabin up top.
This fucking guy.
And he says,
I'm happy to see that you've made it back safely. Reaching out to see maybe if we can talk before we arrive back at the Mother of Exiles. Get a debrief, just make sure I can prepare you for what comes next and also offer an apology in person.
Oh, so we talking over the phone, or are we gonna talk in person?
Mars yells from like the back of the cabin.
Yeah, it comes storming up to the front the second he hears Proxy Keen's voice.
Jam pushes his. I'm assuming he has like a little tiny wheelie chair of some sort, or some sort of movable chair, and it's just gonna go backwards and March tear into this guy for a little bit.
I am simply offering the opportunity to speak again. I did explain. I would like to apologize and prepare you, and also thank you. And express my admiration at what you were able to accomplish. I am pleasantly surprised.
All nice with the fucking fancy words and shit. all of this. I spent 3 fucking weeks beating myself up over getting fucking scammed by this other hacker. 3 fucking weeks. And then you know what I did? I got really fucking high, and I thought to myself, and I spent a couple of days thinking, and I realized none of this would have fucking happened unless he was in your fucking comm systems the whole goddamn time. The whole friggin' time. You come to us. Oh, I'm Proxy Keen. I'm an information specialist. I have fucking vampire powers and shit. He's in. The first fucking job you give us. The first fucking one. Way to build up some fucking goodwill currency with us, huh?
Yeah,
he remains.
Fucking thought.
He remains
I'll
like.
talk to you on land.
He remains
Slams the
stone
phone
faced.
down.
It's not a phone. It's just a screen. Right.
Well, whatever he has in his hand, he throws it at the roach of the scroll of common emotions he has. He just throws it at the screen and storms to the back of the ship.
Like the screen turns off for a second, and then Jam wheels himself back over and turns it back on.
You see Proxy just look and say,
I reached out as a matter of courtesy. We are on an intercept course. I will be there very shortly.
and then you hear like a
intercept course,
like a little alert from the onboard like nav system saying that there is some sort of object on an intercept course. It's warning. There appears to be, you can see there's actually like a bubble that appears to actually encompass exactly 1 mile of a radius around your ship and then like the incoming vessel, and it's showing, like the diagram is showing like an estimated time for intercept, because as those bubbles meet, you'll be automatically pulled out of cruise as an object will be detected within that mile range. So
I was already dropping out of cruise,
but it's a matter of moments before, like, again, the ship is now just right on top of you. And so you can see that there is this much larger vessel, appears to be the size of like a cruiser of some kind, all black. It's like very hard to see almost against the backdrop of wild space, right? But it is right up on you. And it does kind of start, it's very slowly, right? Because we're in space, does kind of like move to match gravity planes with you. And then starts to kind of just moving like side, like in like a horizontal fashion to meet the back of your ship.
Glorp hands out popsicle stick crucifixes to everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you, Globe.
Definitely not happy about this whole intercept thing.
You hear like there's some whirring of something happening out in the back of the ship. And then there's just a very calm knock. This time a lot less robotic and metallic sounding at the bottom of the ship.
Who is it?
As we entered, so we return. You know who it is. Open the door, please.
I'm gonna. but I'm definitely making him wait.
How long do you make him wait?
Let's see, maybe like 3 minutes for him to get uncomfortable. So let's say 5 minutes.
I'm just standing in front of the door.
Nobody else knows how to open that door. So I would just act like I have no fucking. I gotta let him in. Yeah.
He waits patiently, and after 5 minutes, you open the door, and you see him and a few would appear to be like armed officers of some kind. They are dressed in black. They have like tactical vests on. They have like shielded helmets on. You can see that there's some sort of glowing like magical device around their waists as well, like a belt almost of some kind. Their guns are not pointed. They are at ease. They're just kind of like almost like a security detail that he has with them.
Yeah.
And
as they come in,
and he says, "May I come in?"
No.
Well, then can I offer you to maybe join me in less cramped environs? Don't worry. I'm already in the process of processing your legal salvage request. Yes. Don't worry. You can keep the ship. Do you trust me? Don't answer that.
No.
As soon as it leaves his mouth, the feeling in the room is like he shouldn't have asked that question. Nobody looks in the eyes.
That is a gesture of my own goodwill, and only a small part of the gratitude that I wish to extend to you for the service that you have performed for the flotilla, and for making it back in one piece. I'm impressed. I will admit, it's not often that someone beats me at my own game. March, I think you know how that feels, so I don't take your frustrations personally. We both, I think, were a little surprised by this mysterious person or thing that has disrupted an otherwise simple mission.
Good.
So,
the one thing I would have liked to hear, because the question I had in my mind really was, is Zika that fucking good, or are you that fucking bad? But if you're coming at me with that question, I think we both know the answer to that.
I think we both know the answer to that question.
I'm trying to give people a little more grace right now.
I may not necessarily agree with the methods that you've employed in the past to, achieve whatever ends you pursued. However,
some nights neither do I.
What do the kids say? Game recognize game.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I'm not at liberty to pass judgment on what ends we use to achieve the means, especially when what means we choose to achieve our ends, especially when the ends do justify the means in this case. Whatever information I'm hoping you may have uncovered here would be of great benefit to the flotilla and would be of even greater benefit to the wider universe should it not ever get into the hands of Astrotech.
This is a lot of words, and I still haven't heard a number yet.
Please, can we sit somewhere more comfortable? Like I said, you can keep the ship. You can join me in much more comfortable environs. I can offer you something to eat. I'm sure it's been a while since you've had a proper meal. I'm sure the transition between the astral sea and wild space is something you're still getting used to. So please, allow me to, again, show you my gratitude.
Yeah, I bet you would like us to have a proper meal. We already knew we could keep the ship. We did a little flatuggling before we got over here, so...
Oh my god, he's got the biggest ship. Would you just fucking go with the guy?
I'm just saying, it is not all, you can keep ship. We already knew that. We have certificates. Show them, Glorp.
It's really official, man.
Glorp, the certificate's still posted up in the cockpit, right? You have not removed it.
It's in the cockpit. So, I mean, Glorp is going to walk toward, I'm assuming the ships are
Yeah, because even the ramp has not gone all the way down. It's just gone horizontally enough to now meet with whatever docking tube has extended out from this cruiser.
Yeah, so Glurp is going to start walking up, but does not lower the popsicle stick crucifix that has been pointed at Proxy the entire time this conversation has been happening, right? Keeps it pointed at Proxy. And as Glurp walks past
crucifix, there is no, the Jesus and Christianity does not exist in this established universe, so it's just
vampires exist, therefore crosses, garlic, and steaks exist.
Sure, okay. Okay, sure.
I could just call it a cross.
It's just
yeah, it's true. It's
the
just
popsicle stick crucifix is just such a fun image.
The symbol of Lord Rel.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
We were supposed to use those.
Who was
Whoops.
No.
Spoiler.
No.
Spoiler.
No, he's just standing around in a T-pose. Look at me, bitches. I'm right here.
Flexing.
And as Glorp walks past, the security detail says,
I have a copy of the certificate. It's been uploaded. It is our ship. The documentation is official.
Was never arguing whether or not this was going to be your ship. You've earned it. This is your shot. Congratulations.
I know.
This is legal salvage.
I had a whole fucking speech prepared and everything, though. Could you offer some token resistance here?
I mean, sure. If it would make it, if it would feel fair, I guess. Because
it's right there in Federal Admiralty law. And look, if you were saying no, then it's against the same rules that founded the flotilla. I had a whole thing about how it's not patriotic. I'm sorry, my heart's not in it anymore.
Listen,
I'm gonna go lay down. You guys go ahead.
We can just bypass some of these colloquialisms and just get straight to the point. The ship is yours and much more. Please follow me. And he ushers you and, leads you to, again, the guards are at ease. They are not, they don't seem to be necessarily worried about you. They've been, if anything, they've now just kind of are walking with you and just are acting almost as your protective detail as well.
March says to everybody, I'll catch up in a minute. I got a fucking headache. I'm going to go lay down for a bit.
Oh, okay. Sounds good, I guess.
Exit.
Yeah, sure. Makes his exit. Proxy brings you into this, there's a lot of areas he kind of steers you away from in the ship. It appears to be some sort of covert vessel of some kind. But he does bring you into this large sort of seating area. There's comfortable furniture. There's different plants and other things. It's hanging foliage. There's cabinets filled with different glassware and other things. There's what appear to be like mini fridges and large refrigerators. There's food placed out, all different, whatever your favorite meals are. They seem to have figured it out and have placed all of these things out for you. There's plenty to drink. There's plenty to eat, and there is and Proxy just goes and sits down at one of the many different chairs and just gestures for you to please take a seat. Do you all sit and start eating? Do you accept these accommodations? Are some of you hesitant? Just curious.
I'm hesitant right now.
Right. Jam Jam's been kind of side-eyeing him the entire time, but he will nibble a little bit of the food and then nibble some more of the food and then drink some of the drinks and then just kind of once that's settled, he'll eat.
Okay.
Lev will come in and look at Proxy, and he'll look at the spread buffet. I'll look back, Proxy, and then look back at the buffet, and then look back at Proxy.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "Why don't you eat the thing first?"
What? Okay.
Jam's already eating the thing, but he did go the back and forth eyeing.
As a gesture of trust, he takes some of the fruit that's on the table, and he eats a few grapes or maybe some berries and things like that. He grabs a glass of wine and he takes a sip.
Yes.
And he places it down or whatever, and he's just you satisfied?
Shroom's gonna go grab a bowl. If there's something in the bowl already, he's gonna dump the bowl out. Then he's gonna test it. Does it seem like it's metal?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then he's gonna go and are there apples?
Yeah.
He's gonna gather a bunch of those together, and then he's going to sit in the middle of the table, clear some space, and he's gonna cast bonfire and put the bowl in it. put some water in it, throw the apples in.
The spell fizzles.
What's going on here? I'm trying to get my rocks off.
Certain anti-magic fields got to prevent certain flames and other things from potentially disrupting operations of the ship. You know how it is. Got to make sure all precautions are in place. Not for you necessarily, just for all of our safety.
While you're saying that, he just takes out his plasma torch. He just lights it, puts it on the table, puts the bowl in it.
You are a tricksy vampire, I can tell, huh? It's very interesting.
I really don't know where you got this whole vampire thing from, but okay. if believe it
exactly what
Keep your secrets. It's okay.
We all have secrets. The ones I carry burden me more than you can know.
Okay.
But anyways, we're here to talk about my gratitude.
Yeah.
I know I had offered you a sum of credits for your mission. I would like to just quickly know, were you able to recover any information at all from where you were taken? Did this entity take you to Marion 4, to this facility?
And if we say
we were there, Jam will just tell him.
We were there.
Yeah. You should tell him that you found like information, hard drives, things like that, or
Yeah, I mean, Jam tells him most of the information that doesn't involve anything we might have stolen, pilfered.
Sure. So just for the objective, right? So essentially explaining there was some data potentially you found off a server, and you have a collection of hard drives, one that was undamaged and others that you've tried to mend.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's. I mean, we can probably try to work with that and just see what we can recover. That's incredible, honestly. And to do so, not even knowing that there was an enemy at your side the whole time, is brave and admirable. I know we asked a lot of you without telling you much, so allow me to be as forthcoming as I can about what it is you've accomplished here, and then we can talk about your payment. We became aware of some secretive research that had taken place pre-war and during the war between the Federation Imperium, of which the flotilla was born from. And we became aware of something very secretive that was happening by an independent research collective. We don't know the exact nature of it. They were very good at covering their tracks. But we believe whatever information or whatever research they were performing was said to potentially have great impact on, I mean, it could potentially have a great impact on even like this, the astro-political landscape as a whole. It could change the way that we live all of our lives. And it just feels like dangerous and wild technology. If you know anything about Astrotech, you know that they are ruthless when it comes to the acquisition of information and using that to just achieve endless gains without any regard for mortal life. Profits over everything. We believe that this information could, if fallen into the wrong hands, potentially disrupt the balance of power in the universe in a way that we would not be able to do anything about. I believe, with all my heart, that the flotilla is a safe haven for those who have been otherwise displaced or affected by the tyrannical and unfettered expansion that Astrotech continues to do every day. It is always our mission to secure information and to disrupt their operations as best as we can while maintaining at least enough of a legal standing within the galactic powers that be that we don't get the Federation and Imperium knocking on our doors. So you can see why the secrecy for this type of mission. We don't even know what this type of data is, but we felt that our scientists and our ethical committees would be best to dissect and decipher what this information could be and determine whether it should be destroyed or if there is a practical and positive use that can come out of whatever this research was that could, help people.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Okay. Well, I'm just hearing a lot. You say you want to help people and stuff. I just can't, maybe it's stuck in my ear or something. But like, weren't we sitting in a weird office kind of? Also, you got to get a stylist or something. This is gloomy as hell. But I'm pretty sure we were there when you told us that we were expendable and basically could die and nobody would give a shit. And now you're telling us that you care about people. And I feel like there's a weird conflict of interest.
I felt it was best to be honest with you about the potential perils of venturing away from the raft and into unknown space.
Yep.
So I apologize for my choice of words, but know that the flotilla has recognized your actions as admirable. And in addition to earning some goodwill with the flotilla, I am also planning to increase your payment to compensate for the perils in which you had faced, as I did promise you a rather quiet mission. So, we are prepared to offer your group 10,000 galactic promissory credits.
It's good
in
start.
Addition to keeping your ship as legal salvage and anything you may have found or recovered from there. All we ask is you turn over whatever data you may have recovered so that we may extrapolate it and try to gain a better understanding of if there is any further information we can decipher about Project Q and get us a little closer to an answer of what it might have been for. And that's really it.
Oh,
you can keep everything else. Sell it. Do whatever you want.
Okay.
We will turn a blind eye. And should you need the services of the flotilla, know that we may be able to fulfill some minor favor for you. Should you find the need to involve us in any of your future endeavors. For the players, we are marking a 1 in the influence column for your for your influence points for the flotilla.
Somebody
our
else.
Influence tension tracker does tell you ways you can spend that loyalty or those that influence later.
Nice.
10,000 to split amongst the 6 or 7 of you, however you choose. If you want to cut Percy in and all. In addition, anything you found. That's yours. They are going to, turn a blind eye to whatever else you found. You can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
They just want the data. They just want what anything you may have recovered with relation to potentially Project Q.
You just conveniently left out the part where you repair the shuttle and upgrade the systems.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Don't leave that out next time.
We can certainly provide those services free of charge.
Whatever magic powder does. Ether.
You don't actually need fuel for those, but that's fine. You'll learn these things in time. I will also invite you to maybe join us on the Mother of Exiles, should you wish to maybe upgrade your living circumstances. But unfortunately, I do not have the sway to offer you free room and board necessarily. However, if you wish to continue to help the flotilla, I can definitely pull some strings and get you a proper place to stay.
Yeah.
Aboard the Mother of Exiles.
That sounds good. Can you also give us like an extra 500 galactic coins there? Because it's a very uncomfortable number to split 10,000 between 7 people, honestly. It is a number that is considered bad luck in my culture, and I am going to be offended very soon.
It's culture.
Make me a persuasion check. That's fantastic.
I put my hand on his shoulder and cast guidance. It's culture.
What check is it again? I rolled a 14 plus something. Hold on. What was it?
1d4.
Persuasion, and you get to roll a 1d4 from the guidance. Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, guidance is not a fire or offensive spell or anything like that, so that would still go off here.
It's passive.
Okay, so plus my persuasion, which is just 1 plus 2. So 17.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. an extra 500, we can swing that.
Maybe a vampire, but he's not racist.
There is more where that came from. Should you want to continue to do the good work of the flotilla, this time as a valued and non-expendable ally, I hope.
I want some real grenades next time, though.
You come see me should you wish to pursue additional opportunities within the flotilla. But until then, the ship is yours. You can go ahead and proceed to Docking Bay 4. We will take care of the rest, and it's yours to keep. We'll reserve a spot for you there. We'll make sure that shuttle landing spot, that's your spot. It's your parking spot, so to speak.
Nice. All right, I can
pick
pick
up
up my bowl of
conclusion.
Does March have the drives, or?
I mean, yeah, you would just turn them over. We can yada yada that. Sure. As long as you, I mean, is there anything you plan to like withhold from that stuff, or are you just going to hand the drives over and you have that unmarked file, right? That unnamed file, that like mysterious, like with no extension thing. But that's, I guess, downloaded to like one of your flash sticks, like one of your keyrings of flash sticks.
Yeah, I'm holding that one close to the chest for now.
Sure. So you're just going to hand over the hard drives at least.
The one that was functioning and how many?
And then all the ones that were mended or whatever ones still have drill press holes in them.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So this exchange happens, right? Like it takes a few moments or whatever. As they're kind of pulling stuff in and out, there's not really any comment. They look the other way. They do not care about the crates that are in there. They don't look at anything else. They just accept the handover. They bid you adieu.
Before Proxy leaves, Jam Jam will say, Jam Jam should tell you, we left the power on. and I imagine that the boarding ramp closes as Jam Jam finishes saying
yes, perfect. And then and then shortly after you guys fly away, you land at your spot. The crews kind of rush out to start, tending to the ship, all the the maintenance things that happen. You see like the buzzing of the crews running around, and you take a moment to admire the fact that you have your very first ship. It's not much, but it's something.
Yeah, it is.
And now, flush with a little bit more spending money, and maybe even some money to invest in finding a way home, we do start to draw this adventure to a close. I would like to see any parting words, comments, questions, things.
Yeah. Nobody has seen March since the meeting with Proxy Keen.
Yep.
He was not in his quarters on the ship.
Interesting. Off the grid goes March.
I'm just curious, is there a doctor in the house or
yes,
someone with a stethoscope or something?
You need
you are I was going to say Glorp knows exactly where that is because they went when they were hit by a comet. So I'm sure Glorp points you in the direction. Well, you saw the school nurse. So this time you seek proper medical attention. Brew, and I will we'll do some stuff between sessions where I'll explain some things you may uncover or learn. Dave can take the reins with that and have his fun.
I would be 100% spending most of my time and funds trying to upgrade this shuttle in any way. So
we can talk a little bit more about that later. It's going to be more expensive than you think,
probably,
for shuttle upgrades, but you might be able to at least put that money towards some other stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm torn between investing in some kind of like scout, like local scout service that might be going out and kind of exploring and finding like new worlds or whatever from like within the astral sea, or investing in the ship as well, and honestly being more a part of that, and maybe even trying to God forbid listen to Choom while he starts talking about like certain gears and things, just to like try to get himself up to speed on this important piece of technology.
Yes.
Interesting.
You get a lot
we'll see how that plays out. We might, there might be some jumping, a small jumping of time between adventures here. So we'll see. Percival's there to greet you when you arrive. He tries to hug some of you because he was worried. I'm not sure who reciprocates the hugging. But yes, we'll say that life like, you were able to start settling back in. The credits are, immediately transferred to each of you. And we'll figure out how to split that up between sessions and all that. But, that's the end for now. There are still a lot of questions about Project Q and what it is. And March seems to have gone missing. You have no idea how he could have possibly done that, but he was acting a little weird for a while.
He might have been still on the shuttle. You just didn't see him on the shuttle and slipped out quietly when he got back.
We'll find out at some point. I'm curious to see where Dave takes things next time. But thank you all for the first dungeon crawl in a very long time. A very, very long time. Well done. I think the rewards were well deserved, and I'm glad that we were able to have an amicable discussion with Proxy Keen. Jury's still out on whether or not he is a vampire.
Yeah. It was perfectly amicable the second March left the room.
How much money is that? Just so I can write it.
It's $1,500 a person.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were well done persuading him to round it to an even number for all of us.
Yeah, it was like 13.
I was like 1428.72.
I was like, no. Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
So that being said, thank you all for listening. Thank you for entertaining this long story arc. I really just had a lot I really wanted to tell and a lot of things I wanted to set up. We have so many little seeds planted now for all the different adventures that are going to take place from here. Until then, though, if you like us, you can find us on the internet. We're all over the place, but we've collected all of the places in which we exist into a tree of links, our link tree. It's just linkter.ee/haplessheroes. It's got links to all of our social media pages, our fan run wiki, our merch, our where you can listen to us. Obviously, if you're listening to us, you've already figured that out. But it also has an invite link to what we call the crown jewel of our internet presence, and that is our Discord server, where you can talk to us, and we talk about all the different episodes of the show. We have different thread-based discussions for a lot of that. We have different channels for talking about food and food crimes, and sharing pictures of our sweet familiars and companions we have at home, and many other discussions taking place in there. We would encourage you to take part in that conversation. It's a really cool place to be. We're always doing different types of events and whatnot as well, with some of our audience in there, listening parties and whatnot. So join, take a look at our, if we have any events posted, and also just take part in the discussion. We would really love to hear from you. Now, if you really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. Every review helps us gain more visibility, get more people listening to the show, just appear more in the algorithm, as they say. And hey, if we see your review and we see the nice words you left for us, we will acknowledge you here on the air as the 5-star human being that you are. And if your podcast service does not allow you to leave a review, we do have a 5-star channel in our aforementioned Discord server where you can say some nice things, and we will still acknowledge you for being a 5-star human. Now, if you really like us, you can donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. For the price of a cup of coffee every month, you can get access to bloopers, to behind-the-scenes audio, to bonus content, bonus episodes, lore episodes, random bullshit episodes where we're just talking about a random topic and riffing on it for an hour, or even other bonus content that we have for free for anyone who's, even if you're a member or not. In the form of interviews. So we interviewed the man behind Tabletop Audio recently. It was one of the coolest conversations we've had in a long time. And it was just really nice to talk about music composition, especially for a lot of us who are music nerds in this podcast. And we employ a lot of those mechanisms as we do all the post-production and whatnot. So we'd encourage you to take a look, take a listen, and see if you want to help us keep the lights on. Right? It pays for our hosting costs, help us replace equipment from time to time, and it really goes a long way. And we really appreciate all the support that all of you have shown us thus far. Now, with that being said, outroing my cast for the last time until I'm back in the DM chair, we've had John playing Jam Jam.
Until next time.
Cole is Glorp Glup Glup.
Oh man, I'm totally gonna go get some Flotilla pizza.
Yeah, some G-side Louis G's. Sebastian is Chum de Loom.
No, Lev, that's perfect amount of grease to be coming out right now.
Michael is Brunner Brew Blitzboard.
Just a doctor. That's all I need right now. Just one doctor.
One good doctor. Lewis as Lev Zangief.
Are you sure it is running up my elbow right now?
Oh, yeah.
And Dave as Arch. And And I'm Francesco. I have been your host and DM. Tune in next week where we actually have a little bit of something special planned for you before Dave takes the reins. You won't want to miss it. It is canon and it is a numbered episode. I see you out there, you side arc skippers. And it's only one episode, so you better fucking listen to it, okay? Listen, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you out there, all of you who skipped our side arcs in the past. This
so
is one
accosting our
you
audience.
don't want to miss. Bye-bye now. I love you. Bye.
Bye. It'll be very special, I promise.